stream of inking Judge Dredd versus the T600 Terminator from Terminator Salvation. I'm going to get in here and erase some of the pencils underneath Dredd, and then we're going to start hacking away at this this Terminator. Probably going to go for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half tonight. Got to get up kind of early, but yeah, just trying to wind down. It's been a long day today, so these streams help me kind of relax a bit. So thinking I'm probably going to capitalize on some of these pins right here. See what I can do with them. More or less. So, well, actually, let me clean up this Dredd real fast. I want to get that all squared away. Get those inks up off of them. So it'll take a few minutes. We start moving on to the old Rubberhead T600. And go today. Thanks for stopping by. There we go. Just cleaning this up right here. There we go. This thing's taking me forever to draw. Clean that up a little bit. There we go. Oh, that's all good, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, I haven't been streaming as much lately. I got a pretty fucked up schedule right now, so it's kind of hard for me to stream. I'm going to be doing some day streams next week. So I don't know how that's going to line up. Probably going to do one day stream and one night stream. See how that turns out. Working on a lot of stuff and just juggling a lot of things right now. Trying to, anyways. Building up my Kickstarter and lettering my book. So it's taking some time. Those of you guys that are new to the show, I like to do these draw streams now. I do comic book reviews, how to draw comics. And yeah, if there's something you guys want to see, let me know. I like to do votes, polls to see like what people want to see. Sometimes this, I just wanted to draw Dredd fighting a T600. I thought that would have been fun. Let's see here. Dude, did you try this? Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Erasable Ninja 76. Appreciate it. Happy Friday night. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. I'll be working all weekend myself. Today's my kid's birthday, so got up in the morning, made her some waffles and bacon. She dug that. She had a nice little party with her friends. So that was good. Oh, man. Now I'm chilling, trying to unwind a little bit. Okay, so we got that. Probably be some more stuff that I'm missing too. There always is. Yeah, those kids, man, they grow up so fast. It's like you set them down for a second, then you turn around and they're a full-grown human. Go figure. Where did the time go? The years just pass by like, I don't know, man. One year now feels like sometimes it feels like a half a year. Literally like turn around and do like it's Christmas, and then you spin around and it's Christmas again. Right out of nowhere. Let's see here, Sinister. Matrix. Thanks for stopping by. Nice drawing, bro. You talented. Oh, thank you. You should sold this so you can make a lot of money. Oh yeah, that would be. I just opened my my web store right now. It's I got the link in the description if you guys ever want to check it out. I'm selling my artwork on there right now. I only have 3 pieces up there in my books, but I'm gonna start selling more stuff eventually. Yeah, time does pass by really fast now, extremely fast. Yeah, you gotta. Sometimes, I don't know, it passes in weird ways. Especially when you're working or if you're working hard or having a good time, it goes by fast, you know. Like for me, if I'm working on like comics, 9 hours could go by and feel like 3 hours. Like no joke. Literally, I can have 9 hours pass by and it'll have felt like 3 hours. But if it's something I'm bored and I'm not working or doing anything, then yeah, that time could go by. 3 hours could feel like 9 hours easily. Hey, what up, Tim? Thanks for stopping by, man. So they went by fast for you? Yeah, it went by fast for me too. Extremely fast. I was just moving all day, just pushing all day. Happy birthday, Ryder Ginsimer. Yeah, that's my kid's birthday today too. So, congrats. Cheers. Yeah, I got to eating a lot of pizza today, drinking a lot of soda. I was cheating on my diet. That's okay. That's okay. It's the weekend. Gonna get back to it next week. It's always like that for me. I'm sure it's like that for you too, Ryder. At the beginning of the year, you kind of still your birthday after the holidays, after New Year's. It's hard to jump into that diet, probably. That's how it is with us too, because our kid gotta still do the birthday thing, and it's hard to start jumping into the diet. It really is. So I don't really start doing my diets until the end of January because of that reason. It's all good. But I've been sick the last few weeks. I was actually losing weight and losing appetite, and it's freaking wild. Just lost my all desire to eat food. I had to force myself to eat. But appetite's starting to come back now, so that's good. So we're laying down this here rubberhead Terminator, and it's a T600 from Terminator Salvation, the Mick G movie. If you haven't seen it, starring Christian Bale and Avatar Sam Worthington, I highly recommend it. It's a great post-apocalyptic, Terminator movie. Just say sci-fi, but no, it's a great Terminator movie. I'm sorry, but not sorry. Could it have been better? Yeah. But it's pretty cool. They got some cool robots in there and stuff. Adding what I can to this right here, and then if I need to change some stuff, I can change it later. Come out with some white paint and paint over it and whatnot. So yeah, I love these shock arms though, man. On this T600. Talked about it before, but I'll talk about it again. These T600s, there's like a multitude of different models. Let's see here. Darth Alba, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate that. That looks like Danny Trejo and M. Bison put together in your picture. It's hard for me to see him though. Tim Olson, thank you. Got a vendor's permit so I can sell in my own town during the summer. Hell yeah, that's what's up. I used to have one of those. Let's see here. Hey, are you a buff dude? No, I'm not a buff dude. I'm skinny fat. Pumbaa Pig #1. Nice drawing. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, and I'm up in my 40s, so right now I'm not really. I wanted to get super swole, but now I'm just I want to get that lean physique. That's what I'm looking for, just healthy. And then maybe one day, I might get super swole, but it's not really the thing you want to go after once you start hitting 40. You kind of want to just get into like, walking and running and push-ups and stuff like that. You want to take it easy a little bit. that powerlifting, that's kind of a young man's thing, or at least the heavy stuff. I know a lot of older dudes do that, you know, and I know a lot of them, but I also know a lot say it's better to just kind of do the you know, do the walking, the running, the bikes, repetition, lift your own body weight, that type of stuff. Because right now it's all about, I'm not really focused on like having a big swole, like, you know, be looking like Lobo or Batman or Superman, you know. I kind of just want to live longer, you know what I mean? That's what I'm really concerned about. That's my my main thing. Always remember, man, you guys are going to get in a lot of fights growing up. Doesn't really matter who wins the fight. It matters who wakes up the next day, because life is a fight. Always remember that. Life is a fight. It's the fight. It's a roller coaster, too. You get on, you go up and down, and then you get off, if you're lucky. Okay, there's that. Hakuna Matata. I'm a big. Means no worries. Let's see. There it goes. Everyone liked that Lion King when it came out, right? I remember playing the video game. The Aladdin video game was fun too. The little side scroller. I like that game. You could do all these crazy like flips and aerobics or acrobatics. Aerobics. You could do a bunch of acrobatics. It's always like eating the bread and whatnot. That was pretty funny. Fly on the magic carpet. Yeah, that game was really fun. I think it was on Super Nintendo. I had a blast playing Aladdin. I remember my buddy had the Lion King on Sega Genesis. I must have been in like second grade, man. Us what is it? Generation X. Or millennials, they say. We're millennials. Say we never grow old. Guess I would be generation, or what? I'd be a millennial. Yeah, I was born in '83, so. But we kind of got the best of everything. We got to play outside. We got video games. We got all that. We were in the beginning of the internet. I remember too, like America Online. I was right around that time when Aladdin came out. Yep. Crazy times. We had the roll. I remember I would skateboard, rollerblade. I had a bike too. I had this cool bike called an Elf. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Elf bikes. Gen X born 79. Okay, so you're Gen X. Yeah, these Elf bikes, they were really strong, man. I think they might have been aluminum, but they were too. It almost felt like they were too strong to be aluminum, but they were so light. You could just put so much weight on them. I had like the back peg, so the homie could jump on the back, and I could ride in the front, you know, but he'd have to stand up. And the bike, you could pick it up and run with it with one arm. You could throw it over a fence, and then you could hop the fence and then get away. Like, it was just a perfect getaway BMX bike. And I left it outside one day, outside my house, and someone stole it. I felt real bad too. My brother-in-law had given it to me, and I always wanted the damn bike. Ever since I seen him riding it, I was like, damn, I want his bike. He knew I wanted it too. And then one day he just gave it to me, and I fucking lost it, or I let it get stolen, you know. And now I learned, like, never leave anything outside. People will steal your shit, especially now. It's even worse now. It don't matter where you are, unless you're out in the middle, like Wyoming, or I don't know. But if you live in like the suburbs or the city, yeah, especially nowadays, post COVID, people will steal your shit. Absolutely. Let's see, Jeremy 24. Cheers from Canada. My favorite comic book from DC was Wild Dog. I drew his character on every binder that I had. Wild Dog. I've never heard of Wild Dog. I'm gonna have to look into that. Sounds pretty cool. I'm always like looking for, you know, those characters that you don't really see that much. Avant garde. There was someone that was showing a character on Twitter. He looked like a really like 80s kind of cop character, kind of like Murtaugh or Riggs. You know, like I forgot his name from Lethal Weapon, something like that. But I forgot the name of the character. But yeah, just thought it looked really cool. That's why I really like indie characters too, man. I think that's where a lot of the originality is going to come from. You know, a lot of that came out of the '90s. I think Spawn and the Max are like two of the most original looking characters that have been out like in the last 30 years. I'm sure I'm missing a couple, but yeah, they're very striking when you look at the Max and Spawn. Forget about them being Image or DC or whatnot. You know, nothing really looks like Spawn or the Max. Spawn, you could say, yeah, well, he's kind of got the Ghost Rider chains and he's got the fucking Doctor Strange's cape, kind of, but does he? Not really. Spawn's kind of got his own cape. No one, it's not like 100% like that. It is different. So, yeah, I got to say Spawn and the Max for sure, man. Two most original looking comic book characters I've seen since. He was a vigilante with a goalie mask and a hockey jersey with fatigues and Uzis. Oh, okay. I remember there was a guy like that too. That was called the Sportsman, I think. Wild Dog, but I think they put him on one of those cartoons for DC, maybe like Young Justice or something like that. But I think his name was Sportsman. And I also know the Guardian was kind of like that too from Daredevil. That was over on Marvel. But I dig those vigilante characters where they have the homemade like costumes, if you will. I thought that was one of the problems with Matt Reeves and Pattinson's The Batman. I thought his costume was really just zero effort, bro. Like I could have easily made it just going into like a cop store and picking up some pants and a belt. They have it all in there, you know. And I know that's the whole point of it, but he's supposed to be more. He's supposed to be something more. You know, he's supposed to have something a little better because he's Bruce Wayne. You know, that would have been something he would have wore like his first night, and then after that would have been a wrap. But he's rocking it the whole fucking movie. It's just straight up like a security guard outfit. It's a SWAT outfit or an attack outfit that you can get anywhere. I didn't like that. Even Batman Begins, he was already rocking some newer stuff in the first his first mission when he pulls the stapler on what is it, Oldman? Yeah, I still like Batman Begins. That's still my favorite Batman. I could watch that movie over and over. Is it the best Batman? Kinda, sorta, but I really like Batman versus Superman a lot too. That movie's pretty dope. There's a lot of things I hate about it, but there's a lot of things that I don't like that I do like. I really like I really like the progression, the unveiling of Batman in that movie. You know, you first see him, he's like this demon in the shadows that's like taking out these human traffickers. Then they unveil him in that nightmare, and he fucks everybody up. And you're like, oh, whoa, okay, that's pretty cool. You know, he's snapping all these necks, and he's got a gun and shit. So it's just ultra like almost pulpy, if you will, Batman. And then then you see full on Frank Miller, you know, Dark Knight Returns suit Batman where he's fighting Cavill. You know, that was a cool fight scene. That fight scene was badass, and it was cool just seeing him there on the roof, and that was cool. And then at the very end, you get the you get the Batmobile too, and that scene was cool. It was still kind of a tease. And then you get the final warehouse scene where it's just the coolest Batman shit ever committed to screen. Let's see here. The real Derek. Blessings to you. Blessings to you too, man. Thanks. Oh, thanks you guys for hitting the like and the subscribing. I appreciate that. Let's see. See, I remember. I don't think you remember me. It's been a long time ago, bro. I always watched you back then. Oh, thanks for stopping by, man. Jai, GD. Yeah, I try to do these streams more, but it's just it's hard. But I got some ideas lined up for for this year. Hopefully, we can knock some streams out. Yeah. I think this thing might have a little one of these sticking out like that. All right, this gun's going to be shooting a little bit. It's going to be blasting too. Let's see here. I'm drawing Judge Dredd versus Terminator, the T600 from Terminator Salvation. Sorry. The ones with the rubber skin. Yeah. So I thought that would have been a kind of a cool thing to draw, something different. Yeah. All right. Right. I'll start working on these bullets. I'll probably switch out another. Oh, the Frankenstein piece. Oh yeah, Frankenstein versus the Wolfman. That was fun. Yeah. That was a fun piece. Really had fun doing that. Let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Like that. All right. Got this right here. Do a little bit of cross hatching on this. That way it can look kind of frayed. All right. All right, there's that. I want this to look kind of like it's torn up a little bit. Mud Crab Rag, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate that. Just drawing some Terminator T600 versus Judge Dredd. My money's on Dredd. Usually is. Gotta get the money on Dredd, you know. Joseph Dredd. I think next year I'm gonna ask for some Dredd comics. Yeah. They got a new Lobo comic coming out. I might have to start picking that up. Yeah. Thinking about doing that. Thinking about picking that up. There we go. Have you always been able to draw? I think either you have it or you don't. Yeah, I've been drawing since I was a kid, but I kind of learned stuff just kind of picking it up along the way. I think that some people could maybe think of things quicker than other people that's in their head, and they could put it down faster maybe, because that might be the talent thing. But I also feel that like drawing is a skill that you learn. I think anybody can learn how to do it if they really put their mind to it. And I got that from Jack Kirby, you know, and I really believe it. If that, you know, I just think it comes with practice. Jeremy 24, thanks for stopping by. Your drawings are dope, Max. They're on. I remember trying my hardest drawing comics in grade 5 back in 1985. Great skill, bro. I went into full painting now. Yeah, see, like I don't paint either. I'm afraid to paint, so I need to start doing that. That's on my my to-do list this year. This year I gotta finish. I'm doing a crowdfund for my comic, so I'm gonna launch my book in March, and hopefully I can get the money to print the book. It's already done. I'm just doing the lettering, then I send it to the editor, and then I put it out. The book's gonna be spoilers. It's gonna be a heavy metal sized album comic book. So I don't really know of any in existence. So I wanted to do that. So it's going to be like 12 by 12. So imagine picking up a heavy metal record and opening it up, and it's a comic book inside, but it's like kind of, you know, dirty underground, like black and white. So do that, learn how to paint. And then there's a short Conan the Barbarian story. I'm working on one chapter of that's going to get done hopefully by October. And then I got to finish my Vampire Hunter book with my buddy Brian Kriskow, the Puritanian. So I have to finish all those this year. Those are my, and painting. I want to learn how to paint too. So those are my 4 things. Mr. No Me Gusto too. Just dropping by to drop off some love and positivity. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'm having a wonderful day. Stygian Dogs. Hey, how you doing, brother? Thanks for stopping by, man. I hope you're having a good year. I am too, man. Yeah, you guys go subscribe to Stygian Dogs. He's got an awesome Conan the Barbarian channel. Does deep dives on that. And if you guys, speaking of Conan the Barbarian, I got a link in the chat, or sorry, in the description for the Robert E. Howard Foundation. Robert E. Howard is the father of sword and sorcery. He's Conan's daddy, and his house, it's actually a museum, and that's where he wrote all the stories on typewriter. The house needs some love. It's kind of falling apart a little bit right now. So if you guys could donate to that, whatever you can would be awesome. So we could keep, you know, that museum alive. I haven't been there yet. I want to go. They have a convention type thing in June called Howard Days, June or July. So yeah, check it out, guys. You know, it's hard when I try to cross hatching. Yeah, you just got to keep practicing, dude. You know, that's just motor function. You know, like you could do that. I was gonna do videos on that too, where you just kind of see these are throwing lines, and then some people like to pull lines. You know. You got to figure out if you're a puller or a thrower, you know, and then you do these ones like that. And then you could do some where you kind of break it up a little like that. And then these ones that I'm doing right now, I'm doing fabric. So I think of like hemp, you know, so I kind of like to just go all the way through like that. That way it looks like fabric from far away. And then I'll come in like this, like that. You know, and then I'll maybe even come in at another way like this. And I'll even just keep doing it. And then the 4th one I'll do is with this one. With that being said, I like to do like little breaks in there like this. And I don't think I just do it. You know what I mean? And then I'll come out this way like that. And so you kind of get this variation in there, you know? And then you might want to come back and just go atop of it like that. But when you look at it from far away, it's going to look like there's something up with the pattern in there. So, but that's just practice. That's just that is just like the robotics of drawing, like rendering and stuff. You just like gotta let your hand. It's like playing guitar, like picking and stuff. I'm saying stuff too much. It's okay to get you want it to get ugly when you draw, man. You want to get dirty with it, you know. Well, bro, best of luck. I wish you the best on your launch. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I'm gonna try to launch it in March, hopefully right before Patrick's Day. It's wiggly. If it's wiggly, try to put your arm down. Try to, if you have to, grab your hand like this. This is what I do sometimes. And I'll just like any way you want, just to kind of hold it in place, you know. Do that. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I'll do this too. Like say if you're painting, that helps out a lot. You know. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with you grabbing your hand. And then a lot of times people, like when you're doing brush, you got to put your elbow down on the paper, and then you start throwing your lines like that or whatnot. That's another thing I got to do. I got to get into the nibbing again in the brush work. That's what separates the men from the boys. It's a lot of work. But yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And if it's wiggly, that's cool, dude. That could be part of your style. You know, I know a bunch of dudes that have wiggly art. It's fucking awesome. They're way better than me, in my opinion. You know, Mudcrab, how long does it take to make a comic book issue? A comic book should probably take you about a year. If you're starting out, it's your first book. It might take you maybe 2 or 3 years. I want to make one about some D&D adventures. That sounds dope. I've played in. That sounds awesome. I know a guy that's doing that for. He's writing a book about that. It's just basically like a pulp book with some spot illustrations. Now I'm a DM and would love to have the ability to take my stories and illustrate them. Exactly. Yeah, you should just do that. Like for me, my new book that took me like 3 years because the story, it's a one and done story. So I was going to make it longer, or I was going to make it shorter. It took it, and I was going to make about 50 pages, but I wanted the story to be longer, so it ended up going up to like 106 pages. But the story has an end. Could there be a sequel to it? Yeah, but it ends. You know, it sets out what it's supposed to do. I'm happy with it, and I hope that I get to print it and let it see like what it's supposed to look like. And I have a blast like looking through it. It's not a wordy book. It's not a heady book either. But I think it accomplishes what it's supposed to do. And you can definitely see my art progress through the book. I'm not a guy that goes back and redraws stuff, you know. So and I learned that from the Crow, James Arbar. If you look at his book, you can see his art just progresses as the book goes on, and he's experimenting, but also keeping it readable. So I do that myself. I don't go back and redraw shit. If anything, I'll just touch up some stuff for continuity, you know. Maybe there's an exhaust pipe. Maybe a vehicle has 2 exhaust pipes. I'm going to go back and redraw another. I'm going to draw the other one, you know. Or maybe if he's got a horn or a knife in one hand, his left hand, and you draw him on the next pages in the right, I'm going to go back and redraw shit like that if it's continuity issues. But I try not to do that, man. You know, you got to move forward. You just got to do it better next time. And eventually you'll get better, and your stuff will be a lot more consistent. But I think for rule of thumb, if you're making a comic book, you try to want to put out a book a year, keep it at like 50 pages, make it a one and done story. If you're an independent artist, that's just my personal take on that, because you're not putting out something that's episodic every month or 2 months. There's some cats that could do it that are admirable. I've seen a guy that put out Andrew McLean. He put out Headlopper, and that's like Conan meets Hellboy. And he was putting out 4 books. He would put out a book every quarter, like a 60-page book. There was minimal detail, but the stories were fun. There was great action in it, and they're just entertaining books. So it's doable. There's ways to do it. But for me, I'm still trying to figure it out. But I do know that like a good 50-page book a year, if you're penciling and inking it, that's not even coloring it. That's just penciling and inking. That should be attainable. And don't be afraid to get an editor or work with a writer either, because they can make your story sing, you know. Not everybody's Frank Miller, self included. So it's hard. I just rambled on. All right. But I think people should make their book, you know, like nothing should stop you from making your comic ever. Yep. JHIGD dropping dropping the ghouls. Let's see. Dropping. You just got to be afraid to mess up, you know. Forgot what artist or a writer said that, and I believe it's kind of similar to art. Your first stories are going to be crap, but they're just built up in your brain, you know, and you gotta get them all out of your head. You gotta let the crap come out and just take that stick out, you know what I mean, and just let everything flood out. And then once you've written all that, then you start writing the big books, you know. Then you start writing the comics. And I feel it's the same way with the art. You know what I mean? Also, I think that like what you're reading informs your inspiration, you know. If you're reading comics and books and things like that, you're probably going to get a pretty good comic. If you're reading only comics, you might want to think about maybe picking up some books. That might inform some of your writing as well. Writing comics, though, and writing books are two different monsters. They're not the same. They have different time signatures, different storytelling beats and whatnot. Mudcrab 4 or Mudcrag Rag. The most messed up comic I ever read was called Crossed. Yeah, that one is pretty bad. I heard they're making a TV show of that or a movie, something like that. It looks interesting. I think it's I think that's Garth Ennis. The crosses on their face. The art was detailed and good, but vile, if that makes sense. The content was pretty vulgar too. I just liked the art style. Yeah, no, they get good art. Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Fatso, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're having a good night and a good weekend. Right now we're drawing a little Terminator, a little sci-fi action. Garth Ennis, yes. Yeah, a lot of people like Garth Ennis, a lot of people don't. I like his stuff. It's pretty interesting. You know, I like a lot of those that wave of British heavy metal that came in arts. It was funny because you get the new album, the new wave of British heavy metal. You also got that shit with comics, right? Like with Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. You got it with like Alan Moore and fucking Garth Ennis and what's his name? The wrote Arkham Asylum, Morrison. I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? Morrissey. He's good too. He's a little psychotropic, and then Alan Moore is a little too wordy sometimes. Sometimes they forget that they're writing comics. That's the problem. I mean, I don't know. For me, I like my comics to be, for the most part, like kind of quick and, you know, but at the same time, if they're a little heady, a little poetic, like The Crow or something like that, then that's cool too. But at the end of the day, I really just, you know, want some action, you know. But I will definitely read some stuff that's heady and wordy, taken very seriously like that. Yeah. That's how the French comics are, a lot of them, you know. See, everyone has their own opinions on what comics should be and where they need to go and what they've been, you know, and what they're capable of. I think you can do anything with comics. I'm just saying that like the majority of the books I like to read are just, you know, action packed, good story, really well drawn, good characters. And then again, and a lot of that too depends on if they have that monthly like episodic buildup. Sometimes you got to square that in 50 pages. It's kind of hard. How are you going to get someone to care for like a side character or a main character in that much time? You got to really do some deep dives and some deep thinking. It could be stressful if you let it, you know? Yeah. And then sometimes it's like, why do you even need to explain that much about the character? You know, it's a comic book. If people, you know, and if it's something that needs to be said again, then you could kind of start deep diving on the character maybe in the next outing. There's always that. Also with the origin, you don't really need origins too much, I don't think, in comics. I think it makes it more interesting if you don't have an origin all the time for the character. I don't think I'm going to be doing that going forward. We've talked about this a million times, and we'll talk about it a million more. You look at like Wolverine, you know, no one knew who Logan was for like 30 years, and it kept the character interesting, you know. Look at the Joker in Dark Knight. No one knows who he is or what the fuck he is, and that's one of the biggest movies of all time. One of the best performances of all time, whether you like it or I like it or not. It just simply is. No one knows where that Joker came from. Most people think he's ex-CIA, you know. Let's see here, Miss Faso. How long have you been working on this piece? At least like, probably like 5 hours, maybe more, maybe 6 hours. But I'm just chilling right now and unwinding. And that's usually how I go about these. Just having fun. I'm not like in any hurry to get it done. If I was, I'd probably be moving quicker and I wouldn't be talking and just really focused in with my head down. Yep. But yeah, I'm just rambling on, hanging out with the chat. That's all this show kind of really is. And I because with these, I show them my process at a slower speed. I do the thumbnail, then I do the pencils, then I do the inks, and then I try to do a bunch of streams. I usually do like 6 or 7 streams, and still I don't do everything on here. I might go back and tweak some stuff. Let's see here, Mud Crab. A Goofy Comics DC did was Dog Welder and a 6-pack. Check that out. Yeah, I love comics. I love the indie stuff and just underground comics. Yeah. I'm keeping it kind of like just low pro though right now for the most part. Every now and then I'll buy like something from DC. Like right now I'm really thinking about adding Lobo. It's written by Scotty Young and by Jorge Corona. Because there hasn't been a Lobo series in like 30 years. And the art looks pretty cool. Very Gonzo-y. I don't know. I'm not really familiar with this guy's style, but it looks cool. It's really squiggly. A little bit of like Keith Griffin's what he did a little bit with like Lobo, obviously, but also I think it was Trencher. I think that was another book he had, Trencher or Trekker, something like that. But that's how this art looks like. It looks fun. Lobo's had some mini series throughout the last 30 years, but he hasn't had a main series, and this looks like it's going to be a mainstay. And they should have done it a long time ago. He's their last like big opportunity to make money, other than Batman. With Momoa. Hopefully they don't jam him up. They could literally milk that cow until and after we're gone, because he is not bound to a studio boss. He's like Deadpool. He can go wherever the fuck he wants. And Momoa can play a multitude of different versions of Lobo. And the comics are the same way. They can have the comics and Momoa, and every movie could be different. That's how I would do it. I'd make every movie totally different, and I'd make it like a $200 million movie of the week movie where he's just doing random stuff. I'd be poking fun at pop culture, funny jokes filled with gore. That's what Lobo needs to be, and very unsafe as much as you can. And that's going to be hard for the studio bigwigs, but it's probable. You never know. You never know. Yeah, I might go see Supergirl just because I want to see what they do with Lobo, because he's my favorite DC character, and I've been waiting years to see what they would do with it. Part of me is just like, nah, I don't want to. It's like, let's see, Gaz Coleman. Hey, thanks for stopping by, man. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Lobo from Omega Man. 67. I don't know what the 67 is, man, but yeah. All right, here we're going to do some exploding. He's shooting out the back right there. All right. Okay. Could go and draw some more stuff after this too. I did a Lobo piece a little while ago. I'm probably going to do more. Can never get enough of that guy. And these are just pieces of like shrapnel, because this is a metal cyborg. It's a Terminator. Yeah, and that's Sam Keith, man. He can draw so good. Yeah. All right. So we have that right there. Thanks to the 80 of you guys watching. I appreciate that. And everyone that's been hitting the liking and subscribing. It's been awesome. I'm actually almost at 1,000 subscribers now. Can't freaking believe it. I really can't. Thank you. And again, I'm gonna be doing some day draw streams going forward, probably over the next 2 months, quite possibly. one at night and one during the day. All right. I'm gonna move that thumb right there, and then probably gonna draw this right here. Have a little lever in there, and a little button like that. Okay, let's see. Let me get this right here like that. Let's see here. Mud crab, do you color? If so, how? Watercolors, greasy style pencils? Not sure what they're called. No, I don't color really. I have before a little bit. Yeah, I just really like the black and the whites. But when I do, I would use like the one time I've done those Prima or Prisma. I forgot the name of them. Sorry, guys, I'm a little tired. The ones that everybody uses. So I've used those, and I would do colored pencil. I think that's pretty cool. But I really just like to do black and whites. It's my thing. There we go. Then we're gonna have this thing coming out right here, like that. Get that motion going. There we go. All right. There's that. All right. Then we have this right here. I think once you know that like you can go back and fix a drawing, it's quite liberating. You're like, oh, there's paint and whiteout. I can go back and fix it. It's not so daunting, I don't think. Obviously, you want to never mess up, but a lot of people use it for effects, and that could, be very liberating to know that you can mess up and go back and fix it. Let's see here. Bunny Cleaver. Hey, thanks for stopping by. I remember you from a while ago. Do you have anything like a stream schedule? I seem to have the worst timing trying to find your streams. No, I wish I did. I'm sorry. I just kind of go whenever I can squeeze one in. Prismacolor markers are awesome. The color pencils have went down in quality. Ooh, that sucks. Crab. Well, I'm off to bed, but man, you're very talented and seem genuinely nice. Subbed. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, it has been a minute. Yeah, I wish I did have a schedule. It's just kind of hard. I've been trying to get one out. Hopefully this year I'll nail one down, and then I can start. I'll post it up on the community tab. But right now I'm going to be just probably doing a stream, either probably Saturday nights. I think I'm going to be starting to go Saturday nights for the next month, because my schedule moves around so much, so it's kind of hard to just commit to the bit. Yeah, they literally change my stuff around like every 6 months. So there's that. So probably Saturday nights, and then maybe probably gonna do sometime during the week too. I'll just have a day. I might do like probably Monday or something. Yeah, probably the moment I say what day, they'll switch that day up again. These guys are finicky people. These guys. Yeah. I'm all about consistency though, man. Sometimes though you're dealing with people that aren't consistent, so you got to kind of get in where you can fit in and just make things happen. Yeah. Sometimes things are like out of your control and you can't really control it. That's why I'm a control freak as much as possible. Because I like consistency. It sucks, but yeah. There we go. Let's see here. I'm going to do a little bit of this right there, like that. Just a little bit of that. There we go. Yeah, but thanks for stopping by, Bunny Cleaver. Appreciate that. I'm going to be launching a book in March, my book Hell War. So I'm working on my Kickstarter right now, trying to build that page up, and then once it's approved by Kickstarter, then I'll go there. If it doesn't, then I'll go to another site. I'm sure there's every day I look now, there's new crowdfunding sites, so pretty wild. I'm picking Kickstarter though because most people are on Kickstarter and people know it. It's the bigger site. It's like Coca-Cola or whatever. Yeah. I'm going about an hour. Good. Getting a little bit done tonight. Right, and then I'm gonna have a couple of these. I didn't used to normally stream on Saturday nights. About a year ago I had a show Saturday night at like 11 o'clock at night. I'd have guests on and things like that. And I would show heavy metal videos and talk about pop culture, horror, and video game. Well, not video games so much. Video games are kind of boring now. There's really not much to talk about. And I would talk comics, and I'd sometimes show campaigns. There's always independent independent comic book campaigns on like crowdfunding sites that need to be looked at. You know, always. Let's see here. This is going to be some clothes right here. All right, we got that right there. And I like to showcase different indie talent out there. That's the way of the future, I think. That's where a lot of the ideas are. Mario Craft, how you doing there, man? Yeah, right now we're doing a little inking right now. A little bit of ink, trying to. Yeah. Let's see here. A little smack. Smack his hand out of the way. He's dumping. Bunny Cleaver. I found the early 90s comic book / hobby store. Found so many small creators. Ooh, that's cool. That's where it's at. Especially if it's in like your town, you could kind of make a little local network of people, you know. It's always good to have your people that you know like in your city network and then the online network as well, as much as possible. Hey Buzz, thanks for stopping by, man. If you got any links, man, go ahead and drop them out there, bro. Drawing a little bit of Judge Dredd and some Terminator right now. Doing the T600. Buzz, if you guys haven't checked out his stuff, go ahead, man. He's got some awesome comic books. Everything you could think of, sci-fi. He's got Vikings. He's got Vigilante. All kinds of stuff. Superheroes. Killer stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Bust out a little. Try one of these right quick. One of these dollar store pins. I have to hit you up, Edwin. I'm gonna be launching my book pretty soon. Yeah, I could come on your show and talk about it a little bit. Okay, there's that. Boom, boom. Right. I might even mess around with this drawing a little bit and add some silver stuff for fun. I was thinking about doing that. There's that. That one right there. Oh. Dropping some stuff. Right. Oh. Let that smear a little bit. All right. So I got a little smear right there. That's okay. Could always go back and fix it. Right. Then I'll probably do a little one of these right here. Hopefully it doesn't smear. There we go. There we go. Really gets dirty. Look at that. Boom. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Put a little bit of dark in there too. I've been watching that show Fallout. That show's pretty badass. Yeah. I like the ghoul in there. I never played the games, but I can see why people really like it. Yeah. That whole like diesel punk, post-apocalyptic 1950s. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool little concept. Definitely, definitely. All right. Still working on the bottom portion right here. So use a stencil right here for this circle, but I'm going to come in and freehand it. That way it's got a little more life to it. Working on these shocks right here. That metal in there. All right. Thanks again, everybody, for stopping by. I did stop by. All right. All right. Tomorrow we're going to try to get a whole lot of lettering done. Whole lot of lettering done. Listen to this band called Raunchy today. From Denmark. Oh man, they're pretty good. Especially their first 3 albums. Or 4 albums. First 4 albums, I guess. But the first 2 were really good. They came out, I think they came out like in the 90s, like right around the time Korn did. They're supposed to blow up, but they never did. They have an album, their best album probably is Confusion Bay. Even the guy that discovered Korn, the producer of Korn and Slipknot discovered him, but just nothing went through. Just didn't work out. That producer's name was Ross Robinson. He's a big producer back then. Yeah. Let's see here. Rohan 64. Thanks for stopping by. Got the Spider-Man. Yeah. I want to go back and read the Spider-Man Clone Saga. I like the clones. Yeah. Like Ben Reilly and Kane Parker. They're pretty cool. That first Kane Parker was metal looking, man. He looks so fucking badass. His powers are freaking cool, too. I was looking at that the other day. Such a cool design. Very 90s, very metal. They could like read your mind and shock you or something like that. His face was all like mutated. He had like long brown hair and a weird kind of pink like web over him and a weird cape. Spikes coming out the side of his arms and legs. His face was just covered like in a web. Looks so cool. I'm gonna have to draw him for sure. And then John Romita Jr. did a lot of the artwork. Yeah, looks. I want to go back and check those out. Out of all this Spider-Man comics, for some reason, I don't know. I was watching some. You know, they got those docu videos on YouTube. I was watching those on on Kane Parker. I remember there was a kid in elementary school that was collecting those back in the day, and he was like, "This is Kane Parker. This is one of the clones." And he showed me the character, and I was just like, "Wow, that dude looks badass." He kind of reminded me of the Darkness a little bit too, by Mark Silvestri, a little bit, just a little bit. I think that was before the Darkness came out too, quite possibly. It's like maybe a couple years before. I might be wrong. Don't judge me. That first Terminator song, man, that main theme sounds so cool. Just hearing the machines in the background, and the pipes and the cylinders, just so metal. It's like it's just badass. Even more so than Judgment Day. So cool. Got that shit in my head. Looks like they might be making a new another Avatar movie. The movie's tearing it up at the box office right now. Yeah. Oh wow, 16 likes. You guys are awesome. And for like the 80 of you guys that are watching right now, if you don't know, I do live stream drawings. Usually some battles going on. And then I do the pencils to inks. I start with the thumbnails too, so you guys can see how we kind of do like pin up stuff. And do reviews, comic book reviews, sometimes movies, TV shows. Just like a lot of the other idiots out there. I do the same shit. And I make comics too. I do that too. Woo. Indie comics. So, man, that new Robin Hood movie though. Wow. Wow. I wasn't expecting that movie to be on my list of must-sees for this year. Yeah. A lot of people are spurging out about it too, on Twitter. Yeah. It's crazy seeing British people spurg on it. Like they don't even know their whole country's like lore on the real Robin Hood. Yeah, he's from Yorkshire, right? He's a yeoman, right? The fuck's a yeoman? He wasn't a rich guy, is what I'm saying. He didn't know who fucking King Richard the Lionheart's what I'm saying. Yeah, he didn't necessarily feed to the poor, is what I'm saying. He was just a badass that worked his own land. He was a blue collar motherfucker. That's pretty much what he was. Yeah. Oh, well, I don't like that. It's deconstructionism or deconstruction. They're deconstructing the character. We've seen a lot of that. Yeah, we have. But this one that's part of his character. And if it's done right, it's pretty badass. I kind of like movies like that. Like Unforgiven and Logan, and there's a ton of movies that are just cool. Deconstructionism is good. It just has to be done right. If it's good, it could be the best shit ever. Yeah. And then was it Pennywise is playing Little John? He's running around smacking people with a big old hammer. Like, damn. Yeah. For me, the only thing that's just kind of like the design looks kind of weird. He just kind of looks kind of like Gandalf, Hugh Jackman. I think they could have made him look a little cooler. You know, like a little. I know he's supposed to be old as fuck, and it's his last years, and he's dying. I'm dead. You know, the death of Robin Hood. But I don't know, man. Maybe not such white hair. You know, maybe a little browner, longer. Maybe a little bit more, in line with like Kevin Costner's, but also older too. You know, give him the gray hair. I just think he looks a little too Gandalfian. And I know the hood is played out, so you don't really see him wearing a hood that much. But it's a big butt. It's a big butt. He is Robin fucking Hood. Hood. He does need a hood. So, kind of need a hood, bro. And I get sick of, that's like the one thing too, I get sick of seeing in comic book characters and just characters in movies and, you know, people wearing the hood. It's like, man, another hood. But when you're like Green Arrow or Robin Hood, you need the hood. You can wear the hood. You know, usually the archers can wear their hoods. You know, that doesn't bother me too much. But I do get sick of seeing hoods. That and another trope that kind of gets on for me, that annoys me, is when like a character, and just in movies now, like anywhere, the character will jump off a building and then they'll land with their fist in the ground and then they'll look up at the camera. You know, I've seen that like so many times. It's just so cringe. Like everyone does that shit. You could be watching like anything, like a sitcom, you know. It's everywhere. You know. I think Blade started that shit too. Once he snipes, he jumps down that like that temple of the vampire gods. And he lands in the ground. He grabs his like sunglasses, I think. Definitely does a nosedive down to the, you know, he fights Deacon Frost at the end. Yeah. I'm over here rambling. Shut up, Matt Burke. I happen to like hoods on my characters and when people punch the ground and look up at the camera. So you could shut up with that. What about Avengers Doomsday? I don't know. I don't know if Robert Downey Jr. could save us this time. I don't know, man. A little concerned. We'll see, though. Will I go to the movies to watch it during Christmas time next year? Probably will. I mean, it's got epic merit. It's got epic, potential. It does have potential. I think the last great, Marvel movie was the Avengers Infinity War. Endgame was okay, but it was a little long. It was a little long to get to the action. I know it was a time travel movie and heist time travel and fucking, but it was a little long and Thor was just fat. It was just kind of stupid. It's a little too long in retrospect. So I don't really want to go back and watch the whole thing. Same thing with like Dark Knight Rises. It's like, a little too long. But that in was Infinity War. That movie was dope, son. That movie, had the action and everything in it. The fight scene is cool though at the end of Infinity War, but it's just, dude, it's got some of the most epic little gags in there. It just sucks when movies have to be so long and the whole movie isn't that badass, like Batman versus Superman is like that, suffers from that. It's real boring. It's real boring until you start getting to the like halfway through the movie. People were talking about that Terminator cartoon, though, over on Netflix. Hopefully I could get to watching that this week while I'm doing this piece. That would be nice. Let's see. A little grease right here coming out of his stuff. There we go. There we go. Some stitching in there. Right. There's a lot of movies coming out this year, though. I can't remember off the top of my head all of the movies, but I remember going to Google and just seeing the movies that are listing them all. There's a lot. I remember seeing like 10 that was like, okay, yeah, these look pretty cool. And Robin Hood, Death of Robin Hood wasn't one of them. So I've seen a preview for the new Brothers movie, I think, with Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa. I don't know, man. I don't know. It doesn't look that funny. Seems like they're trying really hard to make it kind of funny. And I'm just like, I was trying to laugh at the jokes on the trailer. I'm like, it's funny, right? Yeah. It's funny. It's a funny joke. But I'm just thinking, nah, it's not. It's not that funny. But no, it's funny, right, Matt? No, it's not funny. These jokes are stupid. But they're driving in a minivan and they're having a gunfight, and they had to steal a minivan in Hawaii, and they're brothers, and they're it's funny. It's funny, right? No. I think the funniest thing I heard was at the end. I think it was like that fat kid from maybe one of the Spider-Man movies or the new Spider-Man movies. He told him, he said, "You look like The Rock got pregnant and had twins." I was like, "Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up." But I thought it was pretty funny, and I was trying to laugh at it. You know how things are funny and you want to laugh at it, but you're just like, it's not like belly like bursting with funny, but you're like, yeah, it's a pretty good joke, So, but I'll watch it though. I'll watch a little Momoa when he's funny. And when he's good, he's good. When he's bad, he's like kind of cringe. Yeah. I'm just hoping Lobo's good, man. I'm holding out for Lobo. You could do it, Mobo. 18 likes. What the fuck? You guys are awesome. And thanks for the 4 of you guys watching. Hope you're having an awesome 3 of you, sorry. Friday night. Damn, thinking about I got a glass of wine or a bottle of wine for Christmas. Some Moscato. Thinking about cracking it open. Having a little bit of it. But the thing is, I don't really like wine that much. I don't know if it's, what is it, the phosphorus that are in there? It gets me too warm. Let's see here. I think I want to do this. All right. I really hate how new cars, they don't put CD players in them. And I don't want to like listen to Spotify all the time. I want to put on a CD, man. My boomer ass wants to put on a CD, and I want to listen to a whole album. I don't want to put on a radio, Spotify. I don't want to put on Pandora. I don't want to put on YouTube music. I want to listen to the fucking album. I want to put on the CD and I want to blast it in my car. But it's like now you got to buy a freaking CD player to put in your car. If you're lucky, you can find it. Someone's up on a mountain laughing down at me. Like, ha 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 ha. Like an evil villain. You will never listen to a CD again. Sorry. I like my CDs. I don't know what to tell you. I like my CDs. I know bands like you buying their CDs too, right? I know bands love that shit. They love getting their CDs sold. I'm gonna go. Be right back. Check out some wine I got going over here. Quite possibly. All right. Got a little bit of this wine right here. Moscato. I don't know if you guys drink that stuff. I don't even have wine glasses. No, that's tastes like grape juice. Yeah, not my thing. Not my thing. All right. Getting a little bit of stuff done tonight. now we're working on the legs. This rubber bastard right here. There we go. I was talking to my son today about the Ocarina of Time. We're talking about Zelda. He likes he likes Minecraft. We're talking about Malgosha, that pig lady. I said, well, you know where the pig sorcerers came from, right? He said, where, Daddy? I said, they came from Zelda. There was a pig sorcerer named Ganon. He popped up in the first game. But as they, as games, progressed, he changed a bit. He got kind of more and more badass. But he started out as a pig. I told him by like the time you're playing Ocarina of Time, he's this badass dude this badass barbarian from the desert. He's got red hair, and he's got like a third eye, I believe. Not mistaken. Crazy hair dude with the sideburns, and he's got kind of like a skullet, just bald. But he's a badass. He's a badass warrior now. And in the Ocarina of Time, you have to fight him like 3 times, I believe. You have to fight him when you're a kid. And I told him in that game, you start out you're a kid, and then you have to go to these 3 dungeons, and by the time you get to the 3rd dungeon, you got to fight him, and he's in these paintings, and he hops around. And then once you whoop his ass after that, you go into this like church castle, and you put play like a song or something, and then on your ocarina, and then you pull the sword out, just like He-Man, and you become kind of like a teenage version of yourself, just like He-Man. So you get a little bit of He-Man in the Ocarina of Time. You get to ride the horse, and you see Ganondorf later on in the game, and he's a super powerful barbarian sorcerer that's running shit. The world's dark. It's pure hell, pretty much. But once you go up to his tower that's floating above the lava moat, you whoop his ass, and then he flees up to the roof. And once that happens, he turns into the pig that you're, always looking at from Minecraft, the Malgosha, the piglins. Yeah, but the real pig was Ganon. And then when you get up there, you fight the pig, and he's this like 15-foot tall, super boar pig. He's got 2 swords. He's badass, man. I'm just telling him, they're making a movie, right, of He-Man and Zelda. I'm telling him, I hope they put that version of Ganon in there. And I hope they follow Ocarina of Time. I really do think that's the best Zelda story ever. It's so cool. It really is. I remember when that game came out, man. That was some next level shit. It really was. Music, everything. They just nailed it. They really did. They got all the things that you liked about as a kid, like Lord of the Rings, a little bit of He-Man, I Have the Power, They made Ganon a badass, like uber badass barbarian in there, like barbarian wizard, because he was just like a fat pig in a moo before that. Now he's a barbarian, and then he had a whole bunch of women too with him. He had a bunch of his he's like a pimp out on the desert. He was like Middle Eastern meets Native American. That's what they were kind of going with his design and whatnot. It looked so cool. Yeah, that'd be a fun character to draw. I'm gonna have to draw that someday. I think he's looks cool, and I also in the first one because they made him look badass again in other games. I think what it was Twilight Princess. I think he looked pretty cool in there. Yeah, he was even bigger in there. He was swole in that game. I think they like made him even buffer in there, and he turns into like a giant pig on all fours. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, Little Ocarina of Time though. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Okay. I think I might. I might come back in here and draw like some shredded up clothes on these legs. I think that would look kind of cool. Some fabric and whatnot. I think I'm going to do some of this too, like that. Maybe that crosshatch that we were talking about earlier. There you go. A bit of that. Gotta be willing to fuck up. Talked about that a million times, you know. I already smeared the drawing up there. I'm gonna erase that and hit it with some whiteout. That way if I scan it in, it won't even show up. And if it does, yeah. And then if it's, you can see the whiteout. If I sell the piece, people aren't going to trip on that. People like that shit. They like to see, I know when I buy art, I like to see the, where they messed up and where they added whiteout and all that stuff. It's part of the charm of the piece. Draw some shells right here. Coolbert Fritz, thanks for stopping by. I know a lot of Fritzes. I know a whole lot of Fritzes. Yeah. Appreciate it, man. I might even know you. Quite possibly. A little bit of Judge Dredd right here and T600. I'm going for about another 20 minutes and then I'm gonna hit the hay. I thought it was you, man. I was looking at your picture. I'm like, really? I never knew that. That's crazy. Did not know that. Yeah, drawing a little Judge Dredd versus the Terminator. It's the T600 from Terminator Salvation. So these are the ones that appeared in the movie before Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, he's in that movie, but this is the model that appears. And they got rubber skin, so I wanted to draw something like that. I was going to draw Arnie or the T1000, but I figured these ones are really something I haven't seen before, so I wanted to switch it up, Yeah, you know what? I'm going to draw the fucking I'm gonna do the T600. Yeah. Be cool if you introduce a little red to highlight to the gruesomeness. Oh yeah, right. Like the eyeball, because the eyeballs are red. I was gonna do some silvers too. I was thinking about making, because Dredd, he has gold and black, but I was thinking, you know what? What if I gave him some silver, man? That would look kind of cool. He'd look pretty badass, I think, in silver. I was thinking about putting some rust in there too, because I have some Sharpies. I was gonna use some Sharpies for fun. The only problem is this dude. He doesn't have any. He doesn't have any blood. He just has metal, because at that point they only had rubber skin. But the T800's Arnold Schwarzenegger's line, that one had some blood in it for sure. That one had some blood in it for sure. Yes, sir. You gonna watch the new Primal? It comes out on Sunday. For sure, brother. I hope you have a good night. Yeah, the new Primal, go check that out. It comes out on Sunday. That show's gonna be badass. That show's gonna be badass. Okay. Been trying to watch those episodes, but it's hard. Get tired sometimes. Trying to get all pumped up for that show. It's dropping on Sunday night. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna do one more stream with this guy, with these dudes. And I was thinking about doing a primal piece. I was gonna have I was talking about the other night. I was gonna have spear, spoilers if you guys haven't seen it now. The trailer, I was gonna have spear fighting zombie spear. Basically, like he's inside of his own head, fighting the other one, like a brutal battle. That, or I was gonna have spear fighting zombies, Fang. I think that would have been pretty cool. I haven't, drawn a big. I'd probably turn it like that too, so you can have a whole T-Rex in there, and then have spear like rah, fighting him like that. But part of me, really wants to draw the two spears going at it. Doing like a whole psychological mind fuck. I think that might be kind of fun. I don't know. Something to think about, though. That's why I wanted to finish this one up. But that show's going to be on. I hope they don't drop all the episodes all at once. Yeah, I kind of like this suspense. Reminds me of back in the day where you watch a TV show and, they don't show every episode. You have to watch every week, and, so hopefully they don't drop all of them. At least just do half the season, like they did for the Stranger Things or whatnot. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get going, because it is getting kind of late and do got to get up early tomorrow. But this was a fun chill down stream. I got to hang out with you awesome people, and I got to pretty much got this guy nailed in there, the T600. Definitely gonna do one more INKSTREAM of this, probably tomorrow night, maybe. Yeah, I think I'll probably do it tomorrow night. And then Sunday, we might do one too, possibly. Not Sunday, then maybe Monday afternoon. I don't know. Still trying to figure that out logistically on my end. But thanks everybody for watching. I do appreciate it. You guys are killer. I hope you have a great weekend. Always remember to be bold, be brave, roll the bones to know your role. And if the artist isn't starving, then the artist isn't hungry. Keep it metal, guys.